Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Susie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to Sharing My Truth. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. This is Sharing My Truth Pod with Mel and Suze. And we just want to give you a friendly little reminder to please subscribe to this sweet little podcast. We really appreciate all your support. You can follow us on Instagram. You can join the conversation at Sharing My Truth Pod. Go to our website, sharingmytruth.com. Leave your little stories, share with us, and specifically leave your stories about what we're about to speak about today, because we want to hear you guys' opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hey babes.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. You just come back from a big old, London trip.
I was in London and in Spain.
Oh.
In España.
Yeah, oh my God, the banana.
That woman's from Chile who says that, but anyway.
It's
sorry,
so
it's a very
good.
long story. But yes, I have. And I was in Spain. I love Spain. It's probably one of my favorite
good.
countries in the entire world.
Yeah.
I love it. I spend a lot of time there.
That's fabulous.
And to be honest, there's nothing to dislike about Spain.
How could you dislike Spain? Spain is Espanol, where you have the paella and you have the
Very
beaches.
good. That's very good. Dude, it's just...
And the with the Syrah, right? That's
The what?
The Syrah. Is that not how you say Syrah? Like the beautiful red wine?
Oh, I see.
Did you have no idea what I was saying
I
there?
thought you were thinking like Rioja.
Tequila. Do you have
Which
tequila?
isn't Spanish,
Okay.
that's Mexican. Anyway,
I am
but
so
Spain
ignorant. Yeah, okay, go.
is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
But the food's good.
Yes.
The clothes, the fashion,
Yes.
the bags, everything is amazing. The people are beautiful.
Mhm.
I mean, honest to God, I wasn't in Madrid, but if you go to Madrid, you could just sit down and you could spend an entire day drinking coffee and wine, which in itself is fantastic, and just watch people go past. And it doesn't matter what age they are.
Yeah.
They could be very young, or you'll see old couples and they've just come out for a coffee, but they look fantastic. And it's not
love
about
that.
wearing designer stuff.
Mhm.
They all just look nice. They actually look as if they've got up.
Yeah.
They've had a shower. They've got their hair ready. They've got their things. They look fantastic.
Yeah, I love that you bring up
The
shower.
Can't help myself.
Because literally that smells. Mel has
It's
to
my
be
pet
clean.
peeve.
Yes.
It's this morning I went for a walk with Max, and he's
Oh my
like, "So can we
God.
go?" And I said, "No, I have to have a shower first.
And you're like, we're going for a walk.
I can't do it." I mean, he's been married to me for such a long time.
We're going for a walk,
It's a stupid
darling.
question. I've never been for a walk in my life without having a shower. It's a stupid question.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm never going to do it. I've not get to 51 and I'm going to start doing it. Anyway. And you've been to Nashville, hence your clangety clang.
I was in Nashville, y'all, and
Oh.
it's a gosh darn rootin' tootin' time.
Very good.
And I was getting down with a honky tonk.
I've never been to Nashville.
It's so fun. And something that I found, because it was my first time there, something I found so funny. And we were obviously on the strip, like with the other tourists, but I don't think I met one person from Nashville.
It's a bit like going to Vegas.
I swear, especially obviously like if you're on the strip. And everyone, because I've been in Toronto for so long, because I'm originally from like out west Canada, which is like, people are a little bit nicer, more friendly than they are in Toronto. So going to Nashville, everyone wants just to chat.
Yeah.
And our Uber drivers, I have never had more conversations with Uber drivers, literally telling me about their life stories. And I'm not mad about that. I think it's actually hilarious. And they're so nice. Everyone just wants to say, hey,
But
y'all.
people from the south of the United States are so friendly. Like
It's
I've been
crazy.
to Texas a lot. I mean, I've been to Florida like everyone, but I've been to Texas a lot, Florida a lot.
Yeah.
And and the Carolinas, like everyone's so friendly.
Yes.
They're so friendly and they're so receptive. I mean, they love my accent, so that's
I
kind
bet
of
they
funny.
do.
But they're just so charming.
Yeah.
And just nice.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. It's like, wow. Because,
that's
you know,
so
people
funny.
are not really that nice in England.
No.
So it's like, it's kind of a bit of a shock to the system. The first time I went to Texas, I think I was 22. I was like, wow, you're all so nice.
It's
It's like
crazy.
wild. Yeah.
I love
Anyway.
it. I love it though. I mean, I don't think I'd move down there. I'm not a huge like fried food person, and American food is just not my little bag. But that
Big
was
on the barbecue.
I'm like, I'll have absolutely. I'm gonna have some hot, spicy fried chicken one of the days because you have to when you're
but
there.
not every day.
But to have it every day, and some of these people do, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
how are your stomachs?
I have no
How do they have
idea.
their linings still?
No. The first time somebody showed me the breakfast thing, which is like the gravy, the like things that look like biscuits and gravy. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And the biscuit look like scones, like English scones, and then it's surrounded in this thing that looks like vomit. And it's like cream with like sausage, and I have to like a creamy sausage gravy thing. And I do.
Yikes.
I know you're going to come
Like
for me.
grits?
Well, grits is something else, isn't
I
it?
don't know what grits is.
The gravy is like, but like I know you're going to come for me. You're going to say the food in England is shit, and you're absolutely right. It's absolutely the pits, and so I really have no.
You
leg
don't
to
eat blood
stand-
sausages and all that
Oh.
good stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't have a leg to stand on. But that, and the first time I had and saw chicken fried steak, I was
Yeah.
in a state of shock.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, why is it called chicken? It's a steak that you're going to fry. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
I know. And like I'm a very health conscious eater. Like I
Yeah.
love to eat dirty food
Yeah.
once in a while, and like absolutely
You
I
like
love
salads
really
and
good
things.
food. I love salads and I love greens, and like so it's a little harder to be in the South
Yeah.
where literally they do not give a shit about.
No.
Really, they don't. Like, and
No,
that's
not-
great.
not
That's
the
totally
same way.
fine, but
Yeah.
not. And the portions, and like it's not like I have been to the U.S. before, but yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird shell shock every time you go there. You're like, how can anyone eat all this and be?
It is interesting.
Anyways, we should get off of it. But
We should.
but
Yeah.
anyways, so if you guys have been to Nashville, or what about Spain having a banana? Okay, let us know. Top us on the beach, you know.
Yeah. Lots of that in Spain.
Yeah, that's what I did
Lots
when
of
I was in
boobs
Spain.
flying around.
Yeah.
There's
It's
always
the
boobs.
first thing I did, actually.
Young and
Take me
old.
to the beach, take my top off.
Yeah.
That's how I want to be.
It's free.
Tits up.
Yeah. They're actually also very open-minded about sex, the Spanish.
Ugh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that sexy accent. Okay,
Anyway,
well, so let's
Nothing to do with what we're talking about.
maybe a
at
little
all.
bit.
Maybe a bit.
Maybe a bit. But we're gonna be talking about. My friend actually gave me this idea. He'll kill me if I don't give him a little shout out.
Yeah.
But he actually did tell me about this idea about what we're gonna talk about today, and we're really gonna talk about sex, money, and manipulation,
Mhm.
and why do they correlate? Why are they always interconnected? And why does it really matter? Maybe it doesn't.
Mhm.
And I mean, this is something that has literally always been a thing since the beginning of time. You know, like it's just never. Sex and money have always been together, like since ever, since humans have been created.
Yes,
my
it's
mind.
the dinosaurs.
Since the dinosaurs, they were like, who's fucking who and how much money do they have?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think they're the two things that rule the world.
Yes.
And in my estimation, in my humble estimation, I think that life is pretty much about, I said this to you earlier, is the people who have money and
Yeah.
don't have money, and the people who are having sex or are not having sex. I mean, I pretty much think that's that. I mean, if you think about it, you think about the shows we watch on TV,
Mhm.
the shit we watch on, or even like the wars that are fought in the world, all sorts of things. It's all about
Money.
power. I mean, the same, it's interlinked, inextricably linked. Do you like
Mhm.
that? And then sex, because I think because sex goes to the cause of what you are as a human, but because it's so powerful
Yeah.
and it incites such powerful feelings and emotions. And I'm not talking about love. I'm just talking about feelings, whether it makes you feel in your head or your body or whatever.
Yeah.
Sex incites power.
Yeah.
And so they are very similar
Yeah.
in what they do. And so the fact that they get mixed, particularly with relationships, particularly with men and women, it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, if you really want to go back, like obviously men used to have all the power and money.
Mhm.
And that's why women were able and had to literally use sex as
100%.
another part of power. And now that things are a little bit on a more even level,
Mhm.
okay? Obviously things are never going to be balanced
No.
completely. It's
No.
never going to be like that. As much as maybe some people want it to be. But yeah, so people are still being like, well, women don't have to use their sex for like power anymore because now we can actually have money and jobs and all this security ourselves. We don't have to use our sexuality for power. And it's like, yeah, we don't have to, but it's actually okay if you're still doing it because it's a literal power that we have. And, you know, the saying is flaunt it if you got it.
100%. I mean, but I do think there is a real kind of hypocrisy in that women say to men, you know, don't in the office or a work situation, don't say I look good or don't say stuff to me or what. We've lost
My
the
mic
mic.
was just about to like have a titty job with me.
It was. It went for it.
It really did.
Sorry. And now completely what was I talking
Don't look at me in the office.
Yeah, no, but you know, I think as women, because we're in whatever era we are now, post whatever, feminist, whatever, is that we, on the one hand, want to use our femininity to get what we want, whether it's in a relationship or any kind of thing. But then we criticize men for then wanting it or falling for it. I mean, it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you see lots of situations like you'll see, I don't know, I was watching a talk show recently. And there was I'm trying to think who the person was, very famous, and she was sitting there, and there was a younger sort of famous person sitting. You know, they do those talk shows when they're on a couch, or whatever, and she's like literally touching the man on the knee and blah blah blah, and being really quite flirty with him. And of course, he's like, whatever, this is fine, this is fine. But imagine if he did it to her.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so hypocritical. But then, of course, you know, I always say that because things were so bad and so backward, and I do think men abused their power in the past. We've now gone to this other like weird all the way in the other way, if you know what I mean. And then I think the worst thing is then you get women criticizing other women for using their femininity to get what they want. And I think that's actually the biggest thing, because if we're being honest, men for the most part like feminine women.
Yes.
I mean, we can pretend that's not the case.
Yes.
And you can all come for me and whatever. But it really is the case.
Because men are very in their ways, and it's science.
Well, on the whole, they like being male. And I'm not talking about working. I'm
just
talking
the
about
average straight male.
Yeah,
like,
I'm talking about the way you behave, and I'm not talking about being sexist. I'm just talking about leaning into your male power or whatever. Women leaning into their femininity.
Yeah,
and there's actually nothing wrong with that. But I think we've sort of come to a place where we're starting to like realize that. I just think it is difficult because I think in many situations women can use their femininity and like step over the line a bit.
Yeah.
And men now that we can see, I mean, that every day there's some man who's got into trouble for some woman accusing him of doing something.
Yeah.
If we kind of had the same applied to women.
What's fucked is that, like I always say, and like, no, I haven't like, you know, gone over a line of like abusing anyone, but like I'm like, if I were a man, I would be in a lot of trouble because I'm so flirty.
Right, exactly.
And like I definitely, and I admit it, like I will use my good looks and my femininity and my sexuality to get into conversations and to talk to people and to, you know, get things, because I know I'm not going to also have this forever.
Right.
So why shouldn't I be using a power now that I'm not going to have in maybe like even 10, 20 years. Like, I don't know when I'm going to just become, you know,
just suddenly disintegrate.
It's terrifying. Okay. As a 20 something year old woman, we try not to think about it, but we're going to get fucking older, and you should be.
You're going to be old like me.
No, Mel, the thing is, you're still a MILF. Am I hoping to be a MILF one day? Yes, but without the children, you know, so it's just, you never know when something is going to disintegrate from your life. And so you should be using whatever kind of power you have. And not all women have the, you know, power of their good looks. And that's okay, obviously, because they have to use other things. And that's like men. Men don't all have the power of money, obviously. So they have to find other ways to attract. It's just the way life is, and people can get mad about it.
Yeah, and I think with women, it's not necessary. I mean, obviously being very attractive is good, but I think women also can make themselves look very attractive. We do have that power, more attractive than they
Yes.
are without,
Makeup, hair, all this
exactly.
good shit.
And nice clothes or nice, looking clothes and nicely put together.
Yeah.
It's more about being feminine,
Mhm.
being warm, being nurturing, being approachable. And we talked about this in a previous episode with our host
Yes.
Chantal. Like the more kind of hostile and aggressive and assertive, and I know that's a contradiction. Like in the workplace, you have to be assertive and whatever. But if you do that in your personal life, particularly with a man,
Yeah.
you're not going to get very far.
No.
And I think we've been missold that 100% for women, and it's very, very difficult, I think, for younger women, because I find younger women, and I'd say younger than you, quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Like in situations, like in personal like situations you are, and you're like, chill out, And actually, if you want this to be a better outcome, you need to be a lot nicer. Like you need to pull it back.
Which is so hard
But they're
because
fighting. Yeah.
Well, it's because as a young woman, it is really hard because our reaction just to anything a man does is always going to be criticized.
Yeah. 100%.
I think in a lot of
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a point where anything a man does and says to women are getting criticized.
Oh yeah.
So like we're now at this weird point where we're trying to find a sort of a balance of like, yes, women can make their own money and we're very happy to make our own money and we want that, but we should still be allowed to use other avenues to get things that we want. And men are doing the exact same thing, and they've been doing it for centuries.
I actually think one of the things is men are very good at not criticizing other men. They just sort of you do you get on and do your thing. I mean, obviously, as long as you're being a good human being. Whereas women, we tear each other down all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem. But I mean, in terms of like relationships with men, and do women manipulate men for money? Yeah, come on here. Of course they do.
Of course they do.
I mean, get a grip. Like if you want as a modern woman to say, oh yeah, women don't manipulate men, and the confusion of sex and money. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Of course they do. It happens all the time. I see it around me all the time. I see it with younger women. And not, so it's not like you can say, oh no, the generations have changed. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's, in many cases, women can get what they want if they promise or they insinuate or they whatever, something to do with sex.
Yeah.
Because what do women want? Yeah, they want sex, but possibly the man wants it more or more often, or always more interested in continuously thinking about it.
Yeah.
And women have found a way of kind of getting to them. And of course that happens all the time. Does it happen? Does it get really extreme? Yeah. And that women wrap men around their little finger? Yeah. But they also have to realize that men aren't completely stupid.
They are or they aren't.
They aren't.
Yeah.
I think men are more simple in the way that they think and the things that they prioritize, for sure. I think women in our very nature, we're way more manipulative.
Yes.
We're so manipulative.
But that's because we've had to be, and that's become...
I think we're
we
innately manipulative.
We definitely have had to be manipulative because we didn't have any power.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not
in
even
terms
that long
of money.
ago.
We didn't have power.
No, but that's the thing.
yeah.
Like, we had to make sure that we could survive and climb up a social ladder for our survival. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you have to do
100%.
that because
Yeah.
from manipulation, let's say,
Yeah.
because if you want to get somewhere and you don't have family money way back when,
Yeah.
you had to do it some other way. You had to
Yeah.
marry a rich man,
Yeah.
and you have to manipulate some people to have a better life. Obviously, we don't have to do that anymore, probably. Not as much.
not as
but
much. Wow.
but people still want things that maybe they can't get with just money or just sex. So they have to play a game. We're all playing a game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We are all playing a game, but I think women often don't understand that men are clued into this game. Like, we're
Yes.
playing the game together. Like,
we want to say that we're
so-
not playing the same game,
yeah.
but we are.
So,
Yeah.
I think often if you are very attractive, young female who looks, very sexy and va-va-vum, kind of like you, is like that you think you can get everything
Yeah.
by kind of manipulate. I'm not saying you, I'm saying generic.
I'm like, no, I'm
get what you want and manipulate by either the insinuation or whatever around sex,
Mhm.
and that in an exchange you'll get some kind of somewhere financially. But does it often work? Yes. But if you honestly think the man doesn't know what you're doing,
Oh, yeah.
then you're very naive. And the women who actually are the smartest understand the man. They understand, and the men too. They understand all sides of the game. And I also, this is very, very cynical. And there are plenty of people out there who are not manipulating each other and scheming and, whatever. But I think the reality is, does sex and money kind of conflate and cause all sorts of bloody issues? Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
Because you can manipulate people.
Yeah.
I mean, you can manipulate people with money or the promise of money, and you can manipulate people with the promise of sex.
Yeah.
I mean, how many men, and I'm sorry, this isn't about bashing men, but how many men I can think that I know have got themselves into a difficult situation because the head down here as opposed to the head on the top of their head has been the one thinking. Yeah. And it has fucked up their life.
Yeah.
And it was an instant, and do women do the same thing? Of course. But an instant, a sort of thing that overpowers you, the desire of this woman in front of you, has completely thrown logic, rationale, everything flying out the window and fucked everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And sex has the ability to do that, as does money. Like, people do all sorts of stupid shit for money. They cheat, they lie, for the promise of a better life. So they're the same in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
So do they get mixed up? Of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the people that sort of understand that from both sides, and we're talking about males and females, are probably the most sensible.
Well, yeah. I mean, the people who just aren't naive to this idea, of course, this is still how it works.
Of course.
Like, and until the capitalist society as we know it does not exist anymore, which will never happen, most likely in our lifetime anyways, then obviously money is always going to be a factor. And if it's not money, it's going to be something else that you can trade. Like,
100%.
that's the thing.
Actually, somebody said something to me the other day and I thought it was interesting about, because you know the show on Netflix, Griselda.
Oh, yes, I just watched the whole thing.
Ay, Griselda Blanco.
Oh my God, she's so good.
She's very, very good.
Yeah.
But I was talking to this person I know who's actually South American, isn't from Colombia, but they were talking about, they find it so annoying that whenever we're talking about, what's her name, Sofia Vergara, who I personally think is amazing. I love her.
And she's gorgeous.
And she's
oh my God,
so funny. I love the fact she takes the piss out of herself. Anyway, this person was saying they hate the fact that every time she does anything, so she goes on any chat show, goes anything, she's always like very dressed up and her boobs are always, like she always wears tight little top things.
Was this person Spanish also, or were they
from South America?
South America, okay.
And I was like, just hold your horses. This woman looks fucking fantastic.
Like one of the most beautiful women in my opinion. Like,
she is 51, 52, whatever she is.
Oh my God.
She looks unbelievable. And it was funny, I was saying this comment to Max and he said, have you seen what she looked like when she was younger? I said no. And I Googled her. I mean, my God, this woman is like a goddess.
Yeah, she's just been so beautiful, like naturally.
Jesus Christ, why wouldn't you? If you've got that kind of money, why wouldn't you? And you've got a figure like that, you're funny and a face and nice hair. Like, wouldn't you wear, like, what is she supposed to turn up in a garbage bag in a horrible sort of stained t-shirt?
Why do you hate her?
And the person who said this was a woman.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow. So here is this person who has been mega smart to make a career. I know she was originally a model. I think she was.
Yeah, she's a model and the host. She's done like so much.
She was in a Coke or a Pepsi Cola or something.
Okay, really?
She started. I think she was spotted or something because she comes from a small city. I think it's quite. It's not like a tiny place, but a smaller city in Colombia. And, the fact that she speaks great English, the fact, oh my God, she's on bloody American TV for like 10 plus years. That she's used the point I'm using her is because she's so feminine, but she's also very funny, is that she's used everything that she has. And now she's done this show, which obviously she had to do something where she could have a Hispanic accent and speak in Spanish or whatever, but actually done a phenomenal job. You're like, oh my God, and you're still going to shit on her? Like, are you kidding me? Like, to me, that is just, she is the epitome to me of femininity.
Yeah.
Because she's not young. as in, she's not 20.
Yeah.
She's, like I said, I think she's 51 or 52, same age as me. But she's so feminine. And she's such a great personality because every talk show I've ever seen her on, she takes the piss out of her accent, about
funny.
her and stuff. And I think this is somebody who's really got it. Like
Yeah.
she's used all the things, and she's a mother as well and blah, blah, blah. But we're still going to shit on that.
People who just
Like,
take
what?
things so seriously.
I mean, what
You
is
know
she
what I
supposed to
mean?
wear? Like a tracksuit? I mean,
Like,
I mean,
and
if
she would look fucking great in a tracksuit.
well, of course she would. But I mean, and that's all I think to myself. And the person who actually said it is not the most attractive person in the world. And I just thought, wow.
Oh my God, Mel, the
Just-
honesty in this is so good.
Just wow. But she's, and she's not somebody, I don't know. Like, I think she's recently divorced Sofia Vergara. So it's not a question of men. We're just talking about the way she looks.
Yeah.
And, and you're just like, let's be realistic. If you look like that, how naive are you to think that that's not going to play a part in the way you live your life, what you do? Because the reality is, and we can pretend it isn't the case, and I know we try and pretend this with lots of things that go on in society, particularly in Canada, people respond to more attractive people. I mean, if you are attractive or a good-looking, especially a good-looking young person like yourself, people respond to you differently. If you, I'm sorry, but if you weighed 300 pounds and, you weren't as attractive, people wouldn't talk to you in the same way. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, we've talked about this before. My husband lost 65 pounds. I don't think you knew him when he was
No, I
heavier.
didn't.
But I see it all the time now because I didn't have that sort of viewpoint. Like the way people, or particularly women, responded to him
That is so
was like,
funny.
you're almost invisible. Now
Right.
he is continuously being chatted up. And I'll be standing right there. And you're
Mel, they don't respect you.
I know, the little shits. But I mean, if he hadn't lost the weight, the reaction, it would be completely different. I mean, we were somewhere recently and this woman was like, I was just like,
Can I ask you, does he have the same personality?
oh yeah,
That- 'cause
100%.
Obviously, like, he's done really well for himself, and like, you guys have a great life, and you're both a very attractive, cute little couple. Very. And like, if he has the same personality that he did, like when he was like, doesn't look like he does now, which
Yeah,
looks
much
great.
heavier.
Like, and it's not like I'm sure he was like any
It was exactly
less
the same.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a very good sense of humor, so he's quite funny. But it doesn't matter where we go. I mean, we were at the supermarket recently, and the cashier's like,
So do you think?
just
Well,
like,
wait.
oh my God, you're so pathetic.
Do you think he is manipulating people with his, like, let's say, sexuality? Exactly.
Oh, maybe he's
because now
Ooh,
he
I
can
should
do
ask
that.
him.
His new kind of found attractiveness because he's had the money.
Mm,
So if he can kind of manipulate now with money
that's funny.
and sex, Mel,
Wow.
he's
I
unstoppable.
Oh my God! I'm not going to tell him that. Well, he's going to listen to this. We'll find out. But I don't know. That's a very good question. But I think it's more about the way women react to him. Like they know he's married. They know he's
Women
married.
don't give a fuck.
No, they
about
don't
that
care about
shit.
that, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
So disgusting.
But men get the blame for that.
Yeah.
They literally throw themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was in Vegas. This happened
God.
twice in Vegas, and
When
they
you were there
weren't
with it?
hookers. No. And this one woman was playing, and she was sort of like a middle-aged kind of woman from the Midwest.
Okay.
And she's sort of like,
Was she hot?
He said she wasn't unattractive.
Okay.
But she basically was like, do you want to come back tomorrow? And he's like, no. And then another time, this woman, same thing, and slipped him the number. And then they're shocked that you don't. You're like, no, no. But women are. They actually. I suppose that's the flip side of them. They think under any circumstances, if they're, relatively good looking and breathing,
Yeah.
that they can get any man with the promise of sex. But actually, it doesn't always work.
No, of course it doesn't.
And that's
because
naive.
some people can't be manipulated. Also,
Yeah,
obviously,
100%.
it doesn't work on everyone.
No,
It's
no.
just like people who are maybe more interested in sex are gonna want to be more like I can't manipulate everyone I see because of my sexual beingness.
Yeah.
Is that
Be-
right?
Beingness.
Is that
wow.
correct?
Beingness.
But like, yeah, like I can't get everything I want, unfortunately.
no.
If I had money though, my God, Mel, I would be unstoppable.
You probably would be.
I'd have like just an array of beautiful women and men around me at all times. I'd have a posse.
And an Hermes Birkin for every day of the
Yes, baby.
No, but I think the smartest people really are the people who get this.
Yes.
And I think actually the smartest people who are the people who are not got their heads so far wedged up their own arse that they think they're so amazing. They're the people who get it. And unfortunately, there are many people who are the manipulators who have their head very far wedged up their arse. They think they're so amazing.
Yeah.
And you're like, get a grip. Like, really. But I do think that we have, like, I think we've sort of come into an era of re-understanding that femininity in women is important. It's got nothing to do with sexism. It doesn't mean you're subjugating yourself to anybody. You're allowed to be feminine and be powerful.
Yes.
Whereas I think we've gone through a long period of time of not really thinking, like, especially the 80s. I mean, I wasn't working in the 80s. I'm not that old, but I was sort of late 90s. And there was almost a sense that in order to get ahead, you had to dampen your femininity. You had to push it down to compete with men. And I think we've come to a point where we're like, actually, maybe that doesn't work that well, because you are a woman at the end of the day. And if you are a good looking woman, I mean, if you're like Sofia Vergara and you walk into the office, even if you're in some horrible suit, you look like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
Yeah. So, it's like, come on, let's just get real, know. But I don't know. I mean, how many relationships also are they still together because somebody's getting money and somebody's getting sex, and not always just the man or the woman?
Yeah.
And is that I suppose that goes back to our sugaring thing.
Our sugaring episode.
Yeah.
I know. I think that's the whole thing. I think you just have to accept that this is the way the world works. I think that's the first step is acceptance.
Very good.
And the second step is trying to use what you got.
Yeah, and just don't be so naive.
Just be so naive and have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
It is a little bit. Life is a game.
Yeah.
Life is a game of how the fuck you use it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've quite a few times in my past, either like, let's say you come back to your car and you've got a parking ticket and there's the parking guy there.
Yeah.
And I've got out of every single parking ticket. You just start crying.
I'm obsessed with you.
I've also done that actually when I was a teenager, and you get on the bus or whatever and you didn't have a ticket, and then you get
I hate those people.
what do they call them?
Yes, those fucking
checking
enforcement people.
And you just cry.
Oh my
God. And it works a dream. And at the end of the day, do I want to get out of the thing and not have the fun? Yeah. So I'm going to do it. Obviously works less and less the older you get, but then I could say something else, I suppose. But I mean, like, come on. I mean, of course I'm going to do that.
Use what you got. I'm a huge fan of using what you got. You got money? Use it. You got fucking good looks? Use it. You got a great ass and a fucking great pair of tits? Use them.
Wow.
You got a good dick?
A good dick.
Use it. Why are we not using the good resources that God has bestowed upon us?
Wow.
Wow.
A good dick as opposed to a bad dick.
Oh, yeah, there's bad dicks out there.
You mean like small? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not all small dicks.
Yeah, what's the qualification then?
I think
classification?
Small can't be, or small isn't the best. But you know what I mean? Like, too big is maybe.
That's problematic too.
Could be problematic. But, start an OnlyFans. You don't have to show your face.
Oh, you could. You could be on like those
Feet Finder, too.
Yes. Why did you know I was thinking that?
Because we have this
The same
thing.
person. The amount of people have made money on Feet Finder.
You have great toes. Use them.
But do you think
Why are we
this has
against this?
nothing to do with what we're talking about? But I did, because my feet are not what they used to be because I have arthritis.
You have good feet, though.
Yeah, but I think to myself,
I've checked out your toes.
maybe that's a thing, that if you have slightly gnarly, like people might be into the slightly,
Yes.
yeah. that could be a whole like fetish foot thing.
It definitely is. I'm
Yeah.
sure like people are really weird. Like I'm sure people really like elbows and like weird knees.
Yeah.
And
But how? This is
things.
the key question I have
Yeah.
about
Oh, the key question.
Foot-
This is the key question.
what's the site called again?
Feet finder or foot finder, I think.
Something. I think there's several
Feet
now.
finder.
How do you get your profile ahead of everyone else's?
I think you have to pay.
Right. It's like everything. It's like Amazon, Fiverr.
Money and
you know,
sex, guys.
Yeah. You got to pay.
You gotta fucking pay.
You got to pay.
You gotta pay to
to
play. Oh my god.
And that, if you don't think in life, it doesn't matter what you do, whether like what you do, what I do, like digital marketing, or what you're doing, or anything, you have to pay to play.
Yes.
I mean, it just doesn't work otherwise. I mean, I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a capitalist environment. You either use what is going on and
Yeah.
you use it to your benefit and you fucking try to do whatever the fuck you can, or you move to another country. Like that's
Move
it.
to another country.
Do you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
Like that's
Maybe
it.
It's like if you're going to go on a date with a guy. So I had this conversation with one of my daughters, and I was talking about, you have to shave your legs and your armpits and stuff like. And they're like, why?
Well, I know you're very weird about that though.
Why would you go on a date? I'm not saying you're going to have sex, but you're not going to go looking like a hairy beast. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Aren't you? I mean, I know that's like selling yourself, but yeah, you are trying to get another date.
Here's the
if
thing
you
though,
go
Mel.
with the hairy armpits.
Here's the thing though, Mel. Some guys, I haven't met them yet, but some guys, they like a little bit of hair now.
Okay, so my question is,
Some guys like a bush. Who are we to judge
I
the
think
bush?
the bush is a separate thing.
Who are we to judge
Because
the
I know
bush?
the bush. People are talking about the bush coming back. Blah blah blah.
Look, I'm a
I'm-
shaver, okay?
I'm not the
I'm
bush.
a shaver. I'm a
Wow,
waxer.
amazing how we've gone off.
But
topic.
I'm telling you, people like different things.
But you're telling me you'd like a man who wants hairy armpits.
No, because I don't
Yeah.
like that for myself. But there's women who are like, no, I'm gonna grow it, and men are like, great, fuck yeah, you're a hot woman. It's just natural.
I really think those men are very
But
much
here's the
in
thing:
the minority.
some women,
It smells.
some women like completely bare-chested men, and
That's true.
I am a
That's true.
huge fan of just like really hairy, sexy, manly men.
yeah,
That's what I want.
I find it a bit creepy.
I find it gross.
Not that I've
But
actually
so many
encountered one in
women-
25 years, but I find the idea of it a bit, actually
bit.
very creepy.
The
My husband's
shaving.
very hairy,
Yeah.
and I like chest.
Yes.
And I think, yeah,
I
that's
just love
weird.
burly men. But like that's my thing. That doesn't have to be every woman's thing.
Okay,
Women,
fair
do you know
enough.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's okay.
Still, I think if you're going on the date,
know.
shave your legs, shave your armpits, put some makeup on.
Don't shave the puss just in case he's into it.
Well, I think you should do what you like.
Yeah.
And at the end of the
There you
day,
go,
if a
Val.
man likes you, he doesn't care whether you got a bush or not. I mean,
Or
really.
armpit hair even.
I don't think there's ever a circumstance where armpit hair is good.
Use what you got, Mel. That's all I'm saying.
Armpit hair?
If you can use it, you get it.
Wow.
I'm sure there's weird guys on like eBay or something where like you're just
Of
gonna like
course. Of
trim
course.
it into a bag and then you're gonna sell that online.
There are sites where you can
I'm
sell-
saying
you
use
can
what
sell
got.
anything.
We live in an amazing economy where you
this-
could buy and sell anything.
There are probably sites where you could buy and sell pubic and underarm pubic and
Yes.
underarm hair. I bet there
course.
are. What is wrong with people?
People are disgusted. But use what you got, and I'm gonna keep saying it because
She's
it's
gonna keep
so
saying it.
true.
Mm.
If you can fucking just do whatever you want, I think that's the beauty of it.
Do you think?
I really do. Money, sex, power.
Yeah, and I suppose on the subject of that, like our asked.
Yes,
Last.
boss.
Well, today we've actually completely forgotten to mention that today is bloody Valentine's.
Oh my God. And it's Valentine's Day. So huge. The biggest money and sex holiday of the year.
Yeah, and if you're going on a date, please shave your armpits. Please shave your legs, shave your armpits. If you're wearing high heels, I'm sorry, they do not look good in hairy legs.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And I have very hairy legs.
look,
if I didn't
Mel,
have it
I
all
don't
removed,
disagree with you, but I'm saying, ladies, if you know, if you,
I
that's
guess
what
it's
you
the man's
want,
into
you're
it.
gonna find a guy who doesn't give a fuck. If that's what you don't give a fuck about, do you know what I mean?
I guess if you
Don't let
use
a man
your
change
sex,
you.
yeah, you're right. If you use the,
Yeah.
yeah, I get
I'm a
it.
sexy. There's a bunch of French women who don't fucking shave anything, and they're hot as fuck, Mel.
I lived
And
in
you
France,
lived in
so I know
France.
all about that.
Exactly.
And
these are some of the hottest women ever.
I
No,
don't think I'm going to comment on it because I'm going to get into all sorts of trouble.
not from the French. You don't want to get in trouble by the French.
No, I don't. I definitely don't. But we were going to comment on our last episode was about sugaring.
Yeah.
And we have had a bunch of messages from people. Yeah. And it's actually, I think the most interesting thing
Yeah.
is somebody who was a sugar mummy who contacted us.
Okay.
And I thought, well, good for you.
Sugar mommy.
Yeah.
Like she has a sugar baby and it's a guy.
Yeah. And it's sex and money.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing. Do you need, and good for you, you do you if that's what you want to do. But do you always need that? Or is it, I need to ask this one more questions. Is it because you can kind of control it? If that's the point, actually. isn't it?
Women like to control
If
situations.
there's money in the situation,
Mm-hmm.
you can then control it. You can frame it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess. Which
I
is
mean-
the same as sex. You can control it.
Women like to control sexual situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unless they like to be choked. And then also,
Wow.
but also women like to control money situations if it's for their benefit, right?
Oh, 100%.
So
Yeah.
why not, if you have the power to do both, do both?
Yeah. I mean, I know lots of women who can't stand it if the money's not being spent on them. Like it, in their sort of family, to the detriment of like children and stuff like that. It
That's
really gets
insane.
on their, yeah. And you're just like, what? Like, it's very odd. I find it very, very strange.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, I like a present. I'm very into gifts.
I like a present.
And I've already had my Valentine's.
Oh, yes, I know. You have these beautiful little earrings.
Yeah. So, my husband
Mr. Krangle got you.
spoils me a lot. And because he's one of those people who really loves giving gifts.
Mhm.
He really enjoys the kids as well. He just likes the feeling. He's not interested at all in gifts. At all.
Yeah.
He's not interested at all because he's just like, well,
It's not one of his love languages.
that's true.
Right?
It's not his love language, and I just think he's like, well, if I wanted
He's a
something, I'd
gift
just go and buy
giver.
it. Yeah, and he's not very materialistic. There's some things he really likes,
Mhm.
and he would spend money on, but
Yeah,
he'd just go and buy it himself.
Well, he loves taking care of other people, and I
Yeah.
see that
Yeah,
because he
that's part
comes
of
in
his
here and he's like, "What do you want to eat? What do you want
Yeah.
to drink? What can I get you?" And like that's just how it's his love language.
It's
That's
his
really
thing,
great.
100%. And it's the same. We have 2 daughters. He's the same with them,
Yeah,
and he likes. That's his thing, that he gets pleasure from
out of helping people.
Yeah. I think that's just part of his personality, which is actually a very, very
very
nice quality.
positive.
It's a really nice
Yeah.
quality to have. But yeah, so I don't know, why am I saying that?
Well, about the sugar mama,
The sugar mama. Yeah.
and so
I don't know what she pays for. She
Yeah.
just said that's what she does.
I'm happy for her.
But yeah, I mean, I do remember once somebody telling me, this was an older woman, said, if you have a relationship with a man, and if he's old,
Mhm.
he better be rich. And if he's young, he better be good looking. Otherwise, what's the point?
What is the point, though?
And I thought, interesting. Yeah. I mean, I suppose
Seriously.
you've got a point. But then not everyone in the world, that is a very cynical point of view. And if you are in the position to do that, well, okay, great. But I mean, if everyone took that point of view, you wouldn't be with anybody.
Well, that's the thing.
Maybe they're
Obviously,
just nice.
Love is still a factor, I guess, on Valentine's Day.
She's-
I guess.
but
we can talk about
also-
love.
Yeah, but also you see these comments, like you see a lot of like celebrities always saying, "Oh, you're a woman, you have to make your own money, and you have to be in your own power," and all this other stuff, and men saying things about the women they meet. Well, not everyone's in that position. They can't necessarily meet
Mm-hmm.
those kind of people. But I think something you said earlier when we were talking about this is you were saying how lots of people are together, and they're not always. Not everyone obviously is gorgeous, but people find other people. So they find something. And I think generally, let's face it, it's about sex.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
People
not.
need to fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
And
they
that's
do.
okay.
And that's fine.
That's great.
That is
I
great.
want people to fuck more.
Wow. Is that like if you were president, if you
Oh.
were running against Trump and Biden?
I would win for one. And then I'm
I
obviously
mean,
so much
the
hotter than
choice
both of them.
between those two, like holy shit. And we're not getting political, but anyway. Yes.
No, I
obviously
wouldn't
you'd
even.
win.
I wouldn't be Republican. I would be Democratic. I
just
would be
be in
the
the-
Susie party,
The Susie party.
and they would be the for sex for all party.
Wow. Well, I mean, fair enough.
I'd have everyone on my
maybe
back.
it'd be a happier world.
It would be if everyone was coming all the time
Mm,
consensually.
that's true. There'd
It'd
be a
be
lot
so
less
good.
frustration, obviously.
Hugely.
Yeah. So,
Anyways,
excuse me, on that note,
yeah,
Susie,
on this Valentine's Day,
on this Valentine's Day, we wish
please
everyone. Yes, she's going to say that, and I'm going to say everyone who's in love
oh god,
that you have a lovely time,
you're lovely.
and you don't have to go out and
Mm-mm.
spend lots of money.
No.
Just join each other's company, have a nice glass of wine,
Mm.
have a nice meal at home. You know, whatever. You don't have to do. There doesn't have to be all these grand gestures. Although, if you want to buy me more diamonds, that's fine.
Oh. I know. I think Valentine's Day is an absolute horrible holiday where it's
It is.
hallmarky and it's disgusting. And it just makes you feel bad about yourself for the most part. And it makes you feel like not good enough. So just ignore it
Oh, 100%.
and have sex.
Yeah, and have sex. And if you can't because, you know, you don't have a partner or whatever reason you can't, you know, just go home and do something else.
And just enjoy like your own company.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day can also be about loving yourself
100%.
and doing something nice for yourself.
Yeah, you could go home and have a nice self-care day.
I love
You
that.
know, like have a glass of wine, order some food, watch
Yes.
some shitty television,
Oh, I
and have a
love
nice time.
that. I'm going to order Chinese food actually on Valentine's
I think
Day.
that's a good idea because it is very like it's the thing that annoys me about it is it's trying to say there's this one day of the year you should be doing this all the time.
Yes.
I mean you should be getting the no. I mean
That's also
you know,
why
you
I
should
hate
be
Christmas. I'm like, we should be loving our family,
100%.
doing nice things for our family, having dinners all the time. Why do we have this one fucking day a year where everyone's
No,
obsessed with
I
it?
completely
It's
agree. And then
ridiculous.
if you just wanted to go out for dinner on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, which I never do because it's horrendous, you couldn't get you'd be paying 5 times as much,
Mhm.
and you just want food.
Yeah.
Except actually, probably if you wanted Chinese food, you'd probably be okay in this city.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But you can't get a dinner reservation, and you have to be there because you're dating. When you could just be wanting to go for dinner.
yes.
I mean, it is allowed, but you can't. And you're going to pay through the nose for something that's the same the next day and
I
the
hate
day
Valentine's
before.
Day. Anyways, but whoever loves it, whoever's
Yeah,
in love.
Have a nice time. Have a lovely time. I'm going to have a nice dinner.
And Mel's wearing red for you guys.
I am.
How cute is
I'm
that?
wearing-
And I'm wearing black.
Yeah, well, I mean, that pretty
My
much
black
shows
heart.
our view on love. I'm for it, and she's.
I'm
well,
not against it. I just
Not
there's other
sure
things in
about
life.
it unless it's an
Unless
open
it's sex.
relationship, right?
La, 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 la. Okay.
Anyway,
I hope you get eaten out. Bye.
okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
My Truth Pod is so excited to partner with Vibrator.com, where the A in vibrator is the number 8. This is an extremely exclusive code where no other podcast has it. If you go to Vibrator.com right now, use the code MS15, that's MS15 at Vibrator.com. You can now get 15% off anything in store. That's any sex toys for you, your partner, your neighbor, your mom. We don't judge. We don't care. Get it now. Go to the link in our bio, put in the code, and get jiggy with it.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod, and leave us a voicemail on our website at sharingmytruth.com to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.